New Logan Paul drama, and we have to ask ourselves, are we really surprised? Let's watch.
Logan Paul is suing me for CryptoZoo only a year after he thanked me for it. Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him. He's hired.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember what happened before, and yeah, I remember there was a clip of Logan Paul thanking Coffeezilla, essentially saying, hey, thanks, man. I'm glad that you're so honest. You're just doing your journalistic thing. You know, there was a whole drama between the two, and then it came to that point where he was essentially saying, sorry, I went too hard, and thank you. Apparently, he completely flip-flopped and is suing him now. Interesting.
Hired 5 lawyers to sue me, which he hopes will stop me from exposing him again.
5 lawyers? Good grief. Him and Mr. Beast just lawyering up super hard and taking people down recently. This is crazy.
See, only hours before this lawsuit was filed, I had reached out to Logan Paul about a new investigation into one of his companies, which has just been
Liquid Marketplace. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. This is new.
accused by the Canadian government of being a multi-layered fraud in Canada.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Multi-layer fraud. All right. And then there was CryptoZoo. And then, oh my goodness, this is, you got quite a track record going here, Mr. Logan Paul. Allegedly.
I obviously had questions, but before I was able to get answers, Logan's team of lawyers showed up to silence me. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to go through this lawsuit. I'm going to tell you how to support us if you want, because while I didn't think I'd need help, I was wrong. But before we get to my mistake, let's start with Logan's.
You know, I don't want to say that Coffeezilla was foolish to not expect this to happen, but as a journalist and covering some more sensitive topics, things that people might not necessarily want so many public eyes on, I would think that you would want to expect the worst like this. And maybe he did. Maybe something happened that I don't know about. But yeah, you would think that you would be covering yourself for these kinds of situations just in case.
This lawsuit is not about Logan Paul getting defamed. Instead, this is about him trying to dodge accountability, victims, and blame anyone but himself for his problems, especially me. This lawsuit says Logan Paul wants to hold me accountable for my actions. But what action?
Yeah. What? Okay. He wants to hold Coffeezilla accountable. Logan Paul wants to hold Coffeezilla accountable for being a journalist, for having journalistic integrity and looking into these stories and looking for comments from the original source as he should, and really chasing down these stories so that they can come to the public eye as they should. People should know what's going on behind the scenes. It shouldn't just be shady, weird, sketchy things happening in the background and people's money being taken and no one ever finding out the full story. Interesting.
Are those holding him accountable? It's ironic because his lawyers claim Logan has learned to believe in the importance of accountability. But accountability for who? Currently,
yeah. He's totally learned how to, be more accountable. Totally. He's so accountable that he is overflowing with accountability, and he's passing some of that accountability onto Coffeezilla. In turn, suing him because Coffeezilla apparently has so much of Logan Paul's excess accountability. Wow.
Currently, Logan is fighting the victims of CryptoZoo in court, and now he's fighting the journalist who exposed him in the first place.
Wait a second. Logan Paul is fighting the victims of CryptoZoo in court. Oh man, this guy just never learns. Oh my gosh. So, millions of dollars from the victims of CryptoZoo. They put their money into this coin. And of course, that's their bad. They chose to do this, but they were sold on it as well. So there's some shared accountability there, right? You choose to put your money into something, but you were also, essentially scammed because you're, being told that it works a certain way, or it's going to grow a certain amount, or, you're convinced of these things. And that's why you ended up, making that choice to put your money into the coin. And now he's fighting these victims in court. He would rather not pay them back for the coin that was worthless and was oversold as being this thing. And then he sold his money and it plummeted in price and, they don't have their value anymore. He would rather fight these people in court than just pay them back, even though he has millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. The Prime drink alone is like so popular. He's got so much money. And he just would rather fight them in court. He doesn't want to pay them back. It's crazy.
Personally, I believe Logan has learned nothing from this except how to silence people with the law. But I won't be silenced because Logan's lawsuit makes no sense. We're going to go through it because from the beginning, there's problems. Logan's 5 lawyers tried to discredit me as a journalist. They paint me as someone who wants.
But you are a journalist. How can they discredit you for being a journalist if you are a journalist? Maybe I misheard or the wording is funny there, but you if anything, you're just acknowledging what he is and what he's doing. So that's not an argument to to sue him. What?
Wanted money. They say I had a false and malicious narrative. But you know who doesn't believe that? You know who secretly praises me behind the scenes?
This journalist, YouTuber, crypto uncoverer guy named Coffeezilla.
Okay.
Who's incredible, by the way. A very thorough, good-hearted, smart guy did a deep dive into this project that I attempted to make called CryptoZoo.
That's right.
No way. This looks so... Oh my gosh. This makes this whole situation look even more silly. So you've got Logan Paul. He had a huge drama with Coffeezilla because Coffeezilla just covered the story. He just covered the story. He just did some journalism. And he had a huge drama with him. They supposedly worked it out, or at least publicly it looked like it had been worked out. Logan Paul saying, hey, this guy's great. And then so now there's more clips of him. Hey, this guy is actually really awesome. He does good work, while he's going to sue him. Things are just not adding up.
It's Logan Paul. He's the biggest enemy of Logan Paul's defamation case. Who knew? Because defamation requires actual malice and a reckless disregard for the truth. But he just admitted on camera that I am thorough and good-hearted. Maybe that's why he wanted to remove that video from the internet, according to the YouTuber who released it.
The only issue that was ever communicated was remove this crypto stuff, remove this CryptoZoo stuff. If CryptoZoo is in there, if Coffeezilla's in there, I'm not going to promote it.
Uh-oh. He's getting caught in so many ways. Oh, man. Oh, Logan Paul. You know, he has that thing on his record, the infamous Japan trip in the unalive yourself forest, and then the Coffeezilla CryptoZoo stuff originally, and then now this, suing Coffeezilla while also saying that he's a great guy. This is so weird. He just can't get away from these messes that he creates.
Yeah. Remove that CryptoZoo stuff, that Coffeezilla stuff. Doesn't look good when you compliment the guy you're trying to sue.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Logan isn't even suing me for my original investigation at all, despite most of this lawsuit being a ridiculous fanfic about how I took Logan out of context, that Logan was a victim, that I withheld text messages. Logan isn't suing me for any of the original investigation, though.
Wait, did that say Logan is a victim? Oh my goodness. That is ironic. Hundreds, maybe thousands of victims of his CryptoZoo scam, allegedly. And then he's saying he's a victim. That's rich.
Because he knows he can't. Instead, at the end of the lawsuit, we find what my defamation really is. I'm being sued for 2 videos and 1 tweet where I advocated for refunds. For the victims. Yes, you heard me right. Logan Paul sued me after I tried to get his fans, the CryptoZoo investors, a full refund.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Logan Paul. Come on, man. You don't really have a strong case here, I don't think. I mean, he's just asking for refunds for the victims. Maybe it's because Logan Paul has an ongoing lawsuit, class action lawsuit from all the victims of CryptoZoo. Maybe that's why. And so if this guy's advocating for the... I don't see how that makes any sense, though. He's just asking him to pay them back. Does that really constitute a lawsuit? I don't know. This is weird.
Remember, there are 2 parts to CryptoZoo, the NFTs and the Zoo tokens?
Right.
And Logan chose only to refund the NFTs.
Right.
Which is a minority of the losses, and I...
Yeah. Only 2 million? Yeah. A little over 2 million? Yeah. Not even close to what he owes these victims, for sure.
Had a major problem with that. I told Logan this. I've stated over and over my opinion that it is disappointing for someone as rich as Logan to not make things fully right. And instead only pay back a small part of the losses while fighting the rest of the victims in court. And it's those videos and tweet where I ask for refunds, which I'm being sued for. The first video in question is about Logan Paul not paying out refunds for 6 months. The second video was about Logan's partial refund, having a clause to make sure you couldn't sue him for the rest of your refund.
And I think this is all totally valid video work that Coffeezilla did. I mean, yeah, why would he wait to pay out for 6 months? What's the point of waiting? We all know you have millions of dollars. There's no hiding it. It's not like you're strapped, like, oh, shoot, I'm really struggling to pay out these victims here. No. You could pay them out anytime, I'm pretty sure. And so, yeah, waiting the 6 months didn't make sense. Totally valid video. And then Coffeezilla covering the partial payout. Yeah, so you do decide to pay them out, but only the small portion, the NFTs, the 2 million or whatever. Yeah, that's totally valid videos by Coffeezilla.
And the tweet, I simply said, Logan's the type of guy to thank you for exposing a scam and block you when you remind him to pay up. I mean, yeah, now he's the type of guy to then sue you. Now, I'm sure Logan doesn't like it when I say things like Logan's victims or Logan's scam, but I have a question. If they're not Logan's victims, whose victims are they?
Yeah, who else can claim this just absolute dumpster fire of a situation? Yeah, I mean, it is your situation. You promoted CryptoZoo, you promoted the coins, right? Like, what? What is this? You're saying my game, my project, my coin, right? You claimed it, so these are your victims.
Even Logan admits they are victims. He told me via text, just thought we had the same goal of helping victims instead of a divisive social media war. So he agrees people have been wronged by his game.
Wait, yeah, that was his wording? Okay, that was his wording. So yeah, he agrees they are victims. He agrees they are victims, and they bought into his project, his game, his coin, so they are his victims. He admitted, essentially, in an indirect way, that they are his victims. There you go.
The thing that he said will earn you money.
It's a really fun game that makes you money.
So how are these not Logan's victims? He, of course, would say it's his business partner's fault. But remember, Jake and Eddie have been out of the picture for years. And yet, CryptoZoo hasn't been released, despite Logan constantly promising it, and of course, also threatening to sue me.
Yeah, there's no one else that can kind of be past the accountability now, right? Because like Coffeezilla said, his previous partners that were part of it are no longer in the picture and haven't been for a long time. So it really is just Logan. It's just Logan.
We're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court. By the time this comes out, it'll be done. The game's going to be made. You're going to have the opportunity to get your money back if you want, if you don't want to play the game. And I'm going to take care of the people who made me look like this was a scam perpetrated by me.
Right. Logan wants to sue me and release a finished CryptoZoo game, but he's only done one of those.
Yes. The most important part that would kind of alleviate everyone's concerns with everything that kind of went on with CryptoZoo. I mean, not completely, right? There's still the victims that haven't been able to get their money back, but at least you could say, hey, the project's finished. What are you talking about? What scam? We fully released the game. It's out there. People can buy in or sell back, That would definitely take care of a big piece of this concern. But no, what you're working on right now is suing Coffeezilla for doing honest journalism, or at least, as honest as I can tell, journalism. It's kind of interesting priorities.
Logan can't blame his partners, Jake and Eddie, for this because they've been out of the picture. Do you think he'll take accountability for not launching CryptoZoo? No. This time, he blames the government. He says releasing CryptoZoo has too many regulatory hurdles. Maybe they should have thought of that before multi-millions of dollars of zoo tokens and eggs were sold. And now...
Are you kidding me? So they didn't even know about the regulatory requirements and everything to launching this game and this platform and this crypto coin before selling the coin and the NFTs to people? This guy is not the brightest bulb of the bunch, I am telling you. Wow.
Now, Logan would rather blame the government than take accountability. Or, if you let him keep talking, Logan might rant about internet reporters having too much responsibility.
These internet journalists, internet investigative reporters have way too much responsibility on their hands. that is being mismanaged.
Wait a second. Way too much responsibility on their hands, and it is being mismanaged. Interesting. So someone trying to find out all the details of a story and share that story to people who deserve to know what is going on, they have too much responsibility and are mismanaging it. I'm going to be honest. I've watched a lot of Coffeezilla videos. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I will fully admit that. Maybe he could be doing some shady stuff behind the scenes. I have no idea. But from what I've seen on video and how he handles the stories, it definitely looks like he is not mismanaging anything. It looks like he is doing honest journalism and telling good stories that people deserve to know about.
And wielded in a really inappropriate way.
It's honestly funny to watch this guy whine about his problems, which you can barely hear over what sounds like a private jet.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that angle. Yeah. Oh, man, these journalists, they're being so mean to me while I'm flying in my private jet that probably cost millions of dollars. Oh, yes, this is brutal, man.
Which brings me to another problem Logan has. Part of any defamation case is damages, and proving someone has harmed your reputation. But isn't Logan richer than ever with Prime? And did he have a
That's okay. I thought I had seen an article about that. Yeah, Prime 1 billion bottles sold. That's insane. And if each bottle is what? Okay, I just did a quick look. It looks like Prime, a single bottle is a little bit less than $2. So if you sold 1 billion Prime bottles, we're talking a little bit less than $2 billion. And I know he probably doesn't get all of that. You know, he has to house these bottles in a store, say Walmart or Target or wherever. So he probably has to pay fees for that, but that's still millions of dollars.
And did he have a reputation to harm? His lawsuit shows comments calling Logan a scammer, possibly to suggest he's been hurt by my videos, but you have to have a reputation to lose one. And by the time of my reporting in question, Logan Paul was already accused of participating in multiple crypto pump and dump schemes.
Ooh, yeah. Not a good look, Logan. You're so mad at Coffeezilla for just doing honest reporting, but you were already in some hot water. Already. For crypto. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That article does not reference my work. So Logan had already had a reputation as a scammer before my investigation.
Crazy.
At least if you believe their allegations. So this lawsuit from beginning to end is groundless, meritless, frivolous. And Logan knows that because behind the scenes, in clips he didn't want to get out, he's saying I'm thorough and good-hearted. But
yeah, it just seems like a silence him scheme, something like that, right? Oh, I don't like what you're talking about, Coffeezilla. You know, whatever he's got going on, maybe because of the class action lawsuit, you know, with the victims or whatever else, you know, and he just wants him to be quiet, I think. That's what it seems like to me.
But in public, he wants to sue me, silence me, and cost me money.
Right.
Because that's the one department where we both know he's got me beat. We might have facts. We might even have evidence. But he's got all the money and the lawyers.
Right.
And this is where I have to get to my one embarrassing mistake in all of this.
Uh-oh.
See, my defense against rich people like Logan Paul is media insurance, you know, for frivolous lawsuits. So when I was sued,
I guess that makes sense that they would have something like that. I didn't know that there was such a thing as media insurance. I'm not really, you know, I've never looked into anything like that before. I never had reason to, but yeah, that makes sense to have.
I immediately called my insurance company to file a claim so I wouldn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But they told me they're not going to pay. They're trying to get out of covering us using lawyers in fine print. It's a long story that I will be explaining on my second channel because insurance underwriting is very boring. But suffice to say, I got Dylan Danist. I may have even gotten scammed. I'm not quite sure. For now,
No, Coffeezilla, no. So you got taken. You got taken by the fine print, man. That sucks. I mean, I don't know if it was him or maybe he had a lawyer or something read the fine print for this contract for the insurance. Somebody didn't do their job. Somebody didn't read through the fine print well enough. That sucks, though. That really does. So he's got to fork out the cash for this lawsuit himself, I guess.
the bottom line is we have to fight Logan with our personal funds.
Right.
Which means I need to ask for your support. If you want to help and are able to help, there are two ways to contribute to our fight against Logan Paul. One, you can join our Patreon, which supports the channel.
Okay.
Or you can buy exclusive merch at coffeezilla.store, where we just released the Coffeezilla Defense Drop. That's right. Life hands you lawsuits. You get rejected by your insurance. Make merch.
Make merch.
So here's the deal. These shirts will be available for pre-order for only the next 14 days. And 100% of profits we make from selling them will go to this lawsuit.
These shirts unironically look pretty cool too. I mean, I don't really care for a lot of creator merch, but this is pretty legit looking.
If for some weird reason
Yeah.
there's money left over, it will be dedicated to future legal costs for this channel.
Nice.
I just want to let you know they're available, and it's a cool way to support the lawsuit while also getting something in return.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just set up a GoFundMe. So if you want to do that, just know pre-orders take a few weeks to get done because we make them after you order. And remember, you have 14 days. And you can get that at coffeezilla.store. I'll link that below. It's coffeezilla.store.
Yeah, so anybody who wants to help Coffeezilla out here with his lawsuit fighting Logan Paul, if you do not like the big scummy YouTubers winning their lawsuits against smaller, still very large, but smaller, journalists just trying to tell stories here, you can support Coffeezilla with some merch. There you go.
All right, now we're going to shift gears and talk about the final part of this lawsuit.
Okay.
Why did Logan Paul
Timing.
sue me now? It's been over a year since he apologized and thanked me.
Thank you, Coffeezilla. I am very grateful for your work and your investigation, and I mean that.
Yes, this is the video I remember. Yeah, so it was after kind of all of the crazy, like, scummy Coffeezilla for, telling this crazy story. And then he puts out this little video kind of apologizing in a sense. So, yeah, interesting.
Thank you, bro.
It might seem strange, but I've got some fun facts for you that may or may not be related. Did you know 6 days before the lawsuit, I had featured Logan Paul in a teaser for a video? Did you know 21 hours before the lawsuit, I had texted Logan for comment? Did you know I told him he had 24 hours to respond, and Logan sued me 3 hours before the deadline? Yep.
No. So it really is just a keep quiet type lawsuit. Like, hey, you need to stop talking about this stuff. Keep quiet, knock it off. Oh, man.
That's right. Logan's lawyers then threatened me in that lawsuit email that if I report on this new story, Logan might hold me accountable. And Logan's definition of accountability seems to mean he'll sue me, which is why
Oh my gosh. So it really is. It's a cover-up lawsuit. Hey, you're going to get sued if you tell this story. Oh my goodness. This is so sad. Just trying to silence a journalist's voice. So sad.
I believe this lawsuit was not designed to win, but to shut me up, to threaten me,
Right.
using Logan's wealth and a federal court system without anti-slap to send a message. Do not tell that story.
And he really could. Oh man, he could just keep Coffeezilla in court forever. Well, not forever, but for a long time, and just drain his funds just to get at him. Like, not even necessarily winning the case, because he probably can't win. From everything I've seen and that he's talked about in this video, he doesn't really have a case. So he's not even trying to win, like he said. He's just trying to drain his funds just to deal a blow to him for telling the story. That's so scummy.
Of course, I don't believe that's the only reason I was sued. Clearly, Logan wanted to sue me for a while, but I believe this new investigation played a role in pulling the trigger. Maybe Logan's team will deny this. Maybe they'll say it's coincidence they sued 3 hours before a deadline. Maybe it's...
Yep. Maybe Logan Paul's been thinking about it for a while. Like, oh, I did say that apology video, so I guess I can't really sue him right now. And then there's this trailer that Coffeezilla put out because he's going to tell another story, and Logan's going to be featured in this story. And Logan's like on the edge of like, I probably don't need to sue him anymore. And then this trailer pushes him over the edge, and he's like, you know what? Let's sue the guy. Let's just do it. Maybe that'll shut him up.
coincidence I announced a story about Logan 6 days before, and maybe it's coincidence that Logan's lawyers threatened me about this new story while suing me for the last story that I hadn't discussed in 6 months.
Right.
But I don't think so. Either way, when someone threatens new reporting in a lawsuit about old reporting, the effect is the same. So, what was this new story? Well, it's partly about a Canadian law enforcement investigation, and it's partly about something I told Logan to help him. Yes, believe it or not, I tried to help Logan Paul.
There you go. Coffeezilla's just trying to help you out, Logan, and then you sue him. What is this? Come on, man.
To explain, we need to go back to when CryptoZoo first got exposed. Logan said he was going to sue me, but got backlash. So he called me to apologize. He said he was wrong and wanted to make things right.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, there was a ton of backlash for that. So, okay, the picture is coming clear, right? So Coffeezilla, he reports on CryptoZoo and the whole alleged scam and situation there. Logan Paul threatens to sue him. He gets a bunch of backlash. He reneges on that. Okay, sorry, Coffeezilla, you're a great guy with that. Remember the vertical format video there where he kind of apologized and said, you're doing great journalistic work, whatever. It kind of dies there. Okay, and so then Coffeezilla continues with a couple more videos. Hey, why haven't you paid these victims back? Why hasn't this all been done to kind of fix the situation? And then he starts this new story about the fraud situation in Canada, that company that's being, investigated by the Canadian government for fraud. So he's got this whole situation, and then we get to hear where he's deciding, okay, last straw, I never got to sue him before. I'm going to sue him now just to shut him up. It's so sad.
I made it clear refunds are the absolute right move going forward, and to my surprise, he agreed.
Okay.
100%, man. We're on the same page. But we weren't. Logan now doesn't use the word refund. He calls this a buyback. But at the time, I need you to understand.
He doesn't even want to say the word refund. I guess just so that legally he can't get tied down for it. Like he can't be required to give refunds that makes a lot of sense, actually. The class action lawsuit going on right now. He doesn't want any proof that he has said anything about, giving refunds. So he's using different wording. What a clever, sneaky guy.
Thought Logan was going to announce a full refund, so began trying to help him. And dare I say, I was even nice to the guy. You can see that I tried to offer people who might be able to trace blockchain damages to refund people.
Yeah.
And in the same spirit, I made Logan aware of potential problems at a different company he co-owned called Liquid Marketplace.
Liquid Marketplace. Yeah, so it really does look like Coffeezilla was trying to help him out, and then he gets sued. This is so weird.
Platform that I co-founded called Liquid Marketplace. It allows co-ownership of top-tier assets. So instead of one person, me owning this card, we as a collective can co-own it together.
This was a fractionalized collectible platform where Logan sold things like roughly half of a $5 million Pokemon card. The idea was you could buy tokens that represented partial ownership in rare collectibles.
What is the point of this? Oh man, this is like the next most obvious step after NFTs, I swear. Yeah. Hey, do you want to have partial ownership in a physical product? What's the point? What is the actual point of that? Like, even if you have a representation of it, like, oh, here's my, whatever, like this Pokemon card, right? Like, here's my print or copy of the thing that I own part of. What's the point? What is the actual point? Like you still don't have it. You still don't have the physical thing. And if you tried to cash in on your 49% ownership in this expensive card, what, they're going to tear the card in half to give you your piece of it? No. This really screams another scam to me. To me, this is my personal opinion. This looks like a scam, I swear.
That video, by the way, got 8 million views, and a lot of people bought into this platform. The problem was, I had heard troubling stories about this company, and I was trying to verify if the claims were true. So I had gone to the CEO, Ryan Bahadori, to ask him questions.
Okay.
But he kept dodging meetings. And I don't mean he refused meeting with me. I mean, we would set up meetings, and then he did not show up. So I was troubled. And I brought this up to Logan. I figured if he's going to make one company right, make them all right. Otherwise, it might come back to bite him.
I wonder what the purpose of that is. You make the meeting, you set it all up, and then you just peace out multiple times? Is that just to look like, hey, I'm not trying to hide anything, I'll talk to you, but at the same time, I won't actually talk to you? I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I mean, can you imagine the disaster if another one of Logan Paul's co-founded companies was discovered to have scammed his fans? Hypothetically, that would be a very bad look.
Yeah, allegedly, this really does look like a scam. Hypothetically, it really does look like a scam. For the reasons I already went through. Like, you can't have 49% ownership in a product and cash in on your 49% and have to, break it apart, and then it loses its value anyway as the whole complete product? It doesn't make sense.
So I'm thinking, while he refunds CryptoZoo, Logan can push the CEO to talk with me, and I can figure out the truth. Maybe Logan can fix it if there's something wrong.
Right.
And you can see Logan responds to me. He says, "Gonna push Ryan to talk to you." Again, appreciate it, man.
Okay.
Now, I don't hear back from Ryan or Logan about this, so after a while, I follow up again. I say, "Let me know if Ryan plans on talking." A lot of nasty stories still out there about Liquid Marketplace, embezzlement, etc. And
Ooh, embezzlement. Yeah, that's always good. So you get all these people buying into these partial, what? Tokens for partial ownership of a product or whatever. And then that money's just getting skimmed off and taken and put into whatever they want. Not looking good.
he's dodged meeting me already once. Now, obviously, the most shocking part of this is the word embezzlement.
Yeah.
I need to make it clear. This is not an accusation. I am not accusing Logan Paul or Liquid Marketplace of wrongdoing. I brought it up in our texts because it is my job to investigate unverified claims.
Yes, and I will add to that as well. I'll put my own disclaimer on there. Boop, 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 boop. Allegations, alleged. You know, this is just me talking about Mr. Coffeezilla's story here, which is also about allegations. So nothing is, you know, being stated as fact.
That's the whole point of me wanting to meet with the CEO, but I was stonewalled. Logan never replied, despite me reminding him again via email 5 months later that I wanted to talk to Ryan about, quote, embezzlement and, quote, potential fraud. Once again, not accusing anyone of wrongdoing. I'm simply doing my job at the time to chase down rumors and unverified claims.
Right.
Without concrete proof, I would have never talked about any of this. But on June 19th, 2024, things changed because the Ontario Securities Commission revealed a Liquid Marketplace investigation where they accused Liquid Marketplace of being a multi-layered fraud, taking it.
Yikes. Yikes. Okay. Canadian government doing some investigation now. Multi-layered fraud. Yeah. Okay. I can see why the CEO of this company didn't want to talk to Coffeezilla. He's totally happy to set up fake meetings or, you know, not fake meetings, but actual meetings that he just never showed up to.
In $2.7 million from the sale of these fractionalized collectibles. The platform allegedly did not do exactly what it promised. Some of the blockchain tokens did not even mint. But even worse was the allegation that approximately $3 million was misappropriated from $10 million they raised of investor funds.
What'd I say? What did I say, right? Embezzlement, well, that's what it means, right? So I guess we already knew because of the text, but just seeing it laid out like that from the Canadian investigation, $3 million just skimmed off the top. Buy myself a new Lamborghini, new house, you know, whatever, yacht or boat or whatever. Okay, all right. Embezzlement, there we go.
This is a very similar claim to the one I had tried to verify. Ryan Bahadori, the guy I tried to speak to, was accused of, quote, making hidden payments to shell corporations without any legitimate business purpose, as were two other of the founders. And Ryan was accused of, quote, using company credit cards to buy high-end fashion.
I mean, it very clearly said, oh, just payments to shell companies that had no reason to them. Just, hey, here's, you know, $500,000 or whatever. Very nice. Yeah, not even trying to cover up really at all.
Expensive jewelry and watches, personal health and luxury spa services. If only there was someone who could have investigated this sooner.
If this is all true, these guys are idiots. That's the worst embezzling I've ever seen. It was so obvious.
Now, it is really important to say Logan Paul is not accused by the OSC. Only 3 of his co-founders and his company is. But given the history, I had questions. After all, Logan's promotional video about Liquid Marketplace is still up.
Yeah.
And the reason many people cared about Liquid Marketplace at all was arguably Logan Paul.
Yeah, when you put your face on something like that, I mean, you look like you're a big part of it, right? He's pushing it out there. He's marketing it. He's encouraging his viewers, his fan base to check it out. So, I mean, what else are we going to think? You're not part of this at all? What? No. I mean, it makes it look like you are because of how much you're owning it.
So, here were my questions. And as I read this, it's important to correct. I say Liquid Marketplace got accused of embezzlement. Technically, the OSC alleged misappropriation of funds. Those are similar. They're not the same. So I wanted to correct that. But I
guess that's a fair point. Yeah. So maybe we should stop using the word embezzling. They're saying misappropriating funds. So there you go.
Here's what I asked. Quote, did you take any action on hearing these allegations over a year ago? Did you get approached by the Ontario Securities Commission? And is it true that Liquid Marketplace lied about their claims of insurance, appraisals, and co-ownership as the Ontario Securities Commission alleges?
Ooh.
You can see I gave him 24 hours to respond on June 26th at 2:03 p.m.
So he's asking the heavy questions, and Mr. Paul and his lawyers did not want to answer, obviously. They decided to silence him. Interesting.
And I was promptly sued June 27th at 11:28 a.m. with roughly 3 hours to spare.
Wow.
Now I want to be clear. I don't know the answers to the questions I sent. Maybe Logan secretly whistleblew to the OSC when I first went to him. I don't know. That's why you ask questions as a reporter. But now the story is not about those questions. It's about why I was sued immediately after asking them and threatened if I reported about Liquid Marketplace.
I feel like he could have just responded and said no comment. And then Coffeezilla would just be saying, I reached out to Logan and he had nothing to say. He sent me back a no comment and that's it. Logan could have totally dodged looking so suspicious here. You know what I mean? He could have completely dodged that by just saying, yeah, I don't know if I can really comment on this, so I'm just going to give you a quick no comment. And then boom, like he doesn't look so insanely suspicious by trying to sue Coffeezilla to silence him. This is so strange, the decision making. If you're trying to be sneaky, that was not the way to do it, you know?
In a way they didn't like. This is not how I wanted this story to come out because there's still so much we don't know and so much I can't say now for legal reasons. Maybe Logan's totally innocent.
Yeah.
Maybe he surrounded himself with scumbags who defrauded his fans. Maybe he'll do a refund for this project. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I never got the chance to find out. I tried to investigate, but I was stonewalled and sued when I asked questions.
But if we go off of our past examples here with Mr. Logan Paul and we look at CryptoZoo and all of the coin that was purchased and not refunded so far, to the point where there's a class action lawsuit going on and Logan Paul would rather fight it than pay back the victims, we can assume, I would, in my opinion, say, that the victims of this platform and this company will not get paid back either. That's what I'm guessing.
Make no mistake, though, this investigation is still ongoing.
Yeah.
And you can reach me at the email below if you were affected. I will release my full investigation when it's appropriate because even if Logan doesn't want to answer questions, it doesn't mean I have to stop asking them.
Right.
So in summary, Logan's lawsuit is not about my original reporting into CryptoZoo. Even if you take this lawsuit on its own without context, it's an argument over Logan not refunding victims in full.
Right.
It's Logan insisting he's not to blame. It's all his business partner's fault. But I don't think that aligns with the publicly known facts. That's my opinion. For years, Logan has controlled CryptoZoo, and yet the game is still not out. Logan is now blaming the government for that instead of himself, and he also blames me for losing his good reputation, but you can't lose something you never had.
True, yeah. Oh my goodness. He did his own work ruining that reputation. Nobody else had to do it for him. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that CryptoZoo platform, the game part and everything. It really does seem like the ball has been dropped there. It really would look a lot better if he would just have the game finished and pushed out. Then there would be a lot less to claim about that situation from the outside. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Not to mention, Logan is arguably richer than ever, and he's on
True.
the record finding my reporting thorough and good-hearted. So this defamation lawsuit feels frivolous even on the surface. But if you dig deeper, there's an even more compelling story, which I personally believe.
Okay.
Where the goal is to crush new investigations while taking revenge on old ones. In this version,
That's the version that I, myself, in my opinion, think may be true. Is that he never had a good solid foundation to sue him before, and he didn't like the backlash that he got for talking about suing him, and so he took it back even though he really did want to sue him. And now that he's got this final push, a new story that he does not want uncovered and dug into, time to sue, time to quiet Mr. Coffeezilla.
Logan might not even care about winning. Legal battles are expensive, and in the world of money, he's got me beat.
Yeah.
So he can try to silence me by weaponizing the law. He can sue me for doing my job. He can sue me for asking questions, and he can sue me for asking for refunds. But it's going to backfire because I think it reveals Logan as a bully rather than someone who's truly sorry.
Right.
Because Logan may be a master at convincing people he's changed, but I'm convinced it's the follow-through where things go wrong. You know, the actually changing part.
Right.
There was a time where even I believed Logan was going to fully refund victims. That's why I was so nice to him and tried to help despite him threatening to sue me. But
Yeah, that makes sense. Right. Yeah. With the promises that he was going to pay back. Yeah, of course. So Coffeezilla's like, okay, this guy's turned around. Sure, I'll help you figure this out. He showed a text earlier about kind of giving advice about some sort of crypto company that could help with these situations. There was something about that. He was actually trying to help him, giving him advice and stuff. And then now he's getting sued for trying to help him. Crazy.
when it came time to pay up, Logan chose a minority refund and to fight the rest of the victims in court who wanted their money. And when I complained about that, Logan went from sorries and thank yous to lawyers and I'm suing you real quick. The irony is, it was that same initial belief in Logan's capacity to change that also made me bring up Liquid Marketplace to help stop potential problems.
Yeah.
And yet here we are. The company is now accused of being a multi-layered fraud by the OSC. And the CEO, who I tried to talk to multiple times, is alleged to have misappropriated money. This is despite me trying to talk to Logan directly many times as he asked.
Maybe we could have talked about this if you had reached out to me personally, not my manager, Jeff, who is not me, Steven.
Well, I did try to reach out personally.
Yep. We see the receipts there. Coffeezilla tried to reach out many times, so you cannot argue that he did not try.
And I got sued and threatened a day later. That, I think, says a lot about Logan's supposed change and his belief in accountability.
Right.
Maybe the person he really believes in accountability for is not himself, but me, specifically when I try to get accountability from him.
Yeah.
If you want to support this lawsuit, the best way is...
Yep. Logan's pulling the double reverse. No, you. I'm not accountable. You are. Very interesting. Very, very interesting allegations and story, and some very, very heavy stuff going towards Coffeezilla now with this lawsuit. I'm sorry about that, man. That sucks that it's going that route. I really do wish that Logan Paul had just decided to pay back the victims. And then, I don't know, just stay away from strange, like, NFT-like scams. Like, in my opinion, this new platform, the Liquid Marketplace, it really seems like a scam to me. You're buying partial percentage of a high dollar item, so you own part of it. But then if you ever tried to cash in on it, you're never going to be able to do that. No one's going to say, hey, my, mint condition Pokemon card that's worth $1 million or whatever, sure, you can tear off half because you own half of it or something. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. No one would do that. So this new one definitely sounds like a scam, in my opinion. Just stay away from these types of projects, man. Do more products like Prime. Like, that's obviously making you millions of dollars. And that's a straight up, like, it's just a drinkable drink. There's no scam there, If you want like an innocent something project that's not going to get you into trouble, do more drinks, do clothing, do other stuff. Like, stay away from the NFT, crypto, whatever that is continually getting you in hot water. That would be my advice. Anyway, this was a great video by Coffeezilla, and I want to say thanks for watching, guys.